My name is Frimpomaa Owusu. I've been married for 3 years now, and I have a business online. It's called Beautiful Hair. We are into selling hair bundles, closures, frontals, making wigs, ponytails, anything hair-wise that makes the woman look lovely and beautiful. So, yeah. Actually, he came to pick me up for an event, so we're in his car and we were going, and then he was like, when can I meet your parents? Like, I've seen them as a one-off, but when can I meet them? I'm like, why do you want to meet them? I was like, yeah, I want to marry you. That was how dry he said it, but it felt special because I was like, it threw me off. Like, wow, okay. I was excited actually when he said that, yeah, because we had been dating for some time, so yeah. Like almost a year, I'd say, yeah, almost a year, because there were so many things that we wanted to do and do it well, and some of the vendors too were booked, so we had to, take our time, put things in place, and then, do what we had to do. So it took us a year, almost a year, yeah, for us to plan everything. My decor person, I was going to church with her, I knew her. She's actually in business with her husband. It's a joint business they have. So, and I had seen her work and I liked it. So I just spoke to her about it. And then my makeup artist, my main makeup artist, I picked her off Instagram. I had been following her for some time. So it was no brainer, like, okay, let's do this. And she was available for my date. And I had a second makeup artist. She came in to do my makeup on the Sunday Thanksgiving. But I got to know of her through a client. So it was more or less like a gift to me. So yeah, that was what happened. And then the caterer, my mom knew the person. We also went to church with her, so she did it for me. And then we had a cocktail service. That one, my husband took care of it. My photographer was a colleague. And then my husband also had another photographer who happened to be a friend. My videographer, my sister, who was my maid of honor, recommended him from Instagram, and he was amazing. And my bridesmaids' clothes were also made by a friend of ours. And also my bouquet and then envelopes for like traditional marriages and all of that was also made by a friend. DJ, MC was taken care of by my husband. Car rentals, my husband. Yeah, basically. So yeah, that was how some of them I knew them personally. Some too I followed on Instagram. Others, recommendations from my bridal party. My bridal party had 4 ladies and then 4 gentlemen. The 4 men were my husband's friends, and the 4 girls were my friends. My maid of honor was my sister, so automatically she was my maid of honor. And the rest were my friends from school. Yeah, and I chose them because I felt like they knew about, my relationship to a point. Also, we had discussed marriage, like it was a common goal for all of us. So it felt right to have them with me on my wedding day. Yeah. I did all 3 because I had the traditional at home, and then we had the white wedding ceremony at church, and then we had a reception in the garden. So I did all 3, yeah. My guests were my friends, my colleagues. I had 100 people. My husband had another 100, so we budgeted for 200 people. But along the line, my parents added extra 300. And we had a conversation with them, telling them that we budgeted for 200 people. So if they wanted extra, then they had to contribute, and they did. So it worked out fine. I mean, Yeah, my parents know a lot of people. I know. No, my husband was not active. Like, he contributed once in a while, but I'll say majority was me, my sister, and my mom. Once in a while, he'll chip in something. You know, there could be days where he'll actually come home and then we'll have a full-blown discussion, ask him, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? He won't say much. Then we go ahead, by my mom and sister, and maybe my mom and my dad, we go ahead, make a decision. I'll run it by him and you'll be like, when did you guys decide this? I wasn't there. I'm like, really? You were sitting there, you didn't say anything. So then we would have to go and make some changes. And because of that, it brought about a bit of conflict. You know, sometimes we could argue, go on and on for days over one thing. And it wasn't like it was just me and my family planning the whole thing. His siblings are not around, they are all outside. So, and his mom is a bit old, you know, she was seeing to other things. And, you know, so it was just us and him. So he felt, I'm sure at a point he felt like we were against him, but that was not the case. But eventually he came around and everything turned out fine. So, yeah. The highlights for me was when we're picking our songs for everything, like from entry of the church to reception. It was like a jam. Anytime we're selecting the songs, we were dancing. I mean, that was his domain, so I could see that he was easing up. And then, because we put our songs together and we just gave it to the DJ. So, yeah. So I think that was the highlight for me. That was when I saw that he was actually relaxing and getting into the whole thing. Yeah. We had fun. I mean, he made us dance. Yeah. If I had to change anything, I think I'll change our venue for our reception. Because all along I had wanted us for us to do something indoors. Because our date was like a rainy season. So I just didn't want any surprises. I mean, it was a funny story when during that time, a friend of mine invited me for a wedding. So I'm like, oh, I'm about to have mine, so let me go and see. I might pick up something. So I actually went with my sister, and then we moved from the church. Then we went to the reception grounds. The reception was in a garden, just like ours. And it was raining that day. Unfortunately, the tents that were used, you know, does not prevent water from penetrating. So it literally ruined everything. I mean, we, the guests, had to stand somewhere for a while. Some of them had to sit in their cars, eventually left for the whole rain to stop before we come back to sit down. And I mean, I remember the vendor passing by and I was like, please, is there anything that you can do to salvage the situation? Because this is getting embarrassing. And I remember he clearly told me, this is what they paid for. So that's what we are doing. When the rain stops, we'll clean the chairs and the tables. I really felt for my friend. And before that, my husband and I had been, you know, going back and forth about using this impermeable tents. You know, there are some tents that when it rains, it doesn't get through. But our decor lady, she kept saying that it was expensive, and when we checked, it was over our budget. But I was like, I didn't want to take chances. And then my husband kept, you know, trying to find other means for us to curb that cost. So when we got there and I saw that, I just picked up my phone from my parents. I'm like, hello, please, we are not having the normal tents. Please, we are getting the impermeable ones. I'm not listening to any other thing. I'm calling Audrey. I'm placing the order now. So that was it. And then I called the lady and then I placed the order. So as to how it was paid for, I don't know, honestly. But that was what happened. And on the D-Day, yes, it's rained, but no one got wet. No one got wet, to the point that the following day, a friend of mine who came for my wedding sent me a message. I was like, Charlie, when it started, I was about to pick my bag and go, but then I realized, we are not getting wet. I'm like, okay. So I was excited about that because nothing was spoiled. Everyone was still calm, even though because people will start to panic if they are getting wet. But no one's getting wet. Everyone was eating, drinking, everyone was fine. And then it lasted for like 10 to 15 minutes. So after that, everyone started to dance. We move. Right. One valuable lesson is that I think for women, we are very intuitive. So some of the things, when you think about it, the men are always thinking about the money. I mean, how much is coming out of his pockets and all of that. Some won't, but majority will. So you, the woman, you are the one who is in a position to best plan and put everything together to make sure that, okay, this thing comes out well. And when it comes out it's not going to break the bank, something reasonable, but then nice, because it's just one day. It's just one day. You might not even have the chance to even renew your vows or anything again. So you should do it and do it well, but do it reasonably to your budget. You don't want to go back and then start calculating, I shouldn't have spent this, I shouldn't have done that. Because believe me, the hype is there and you will get into it. You'll be like, I have to do this. You will really feel like you want to do everything. But at the end of the day, it's not everything that's needed anyway. Because it's for a few hours. So you really have to, budget well and then spend wisely. That's what I have to say. You should not go into marriage with a preconceived idea. Every marriage is different. There are some people who mess up their marriages or who are unhappy because of what their marriage is supposed to be, what they've seen on TV, what they've seen in their friends' lives, what they've seen in their parents' lives, what they've seen in their relatives somewhere's life. But you are you, and your husband is who he is. So at the end of the day, this is what I will say to you. You have to be teachable every day. Because believe it or not, every day something happens in the marriage, and it is up to you to navigate well so that you come out happy, sound, both of you are happy all the time. Because you can't be happy all the time. Well, it doesn't make sense. But then you have to come and meet at a common ground. Don't ever compare your marriage to someone else's. Your problems are different from someone. Even if it's similar, it's still different. You are different. You're you. Your husband is who he is. So enjoy your journey, enjoy your marriage. When the challenges come, deal with it. If you can help your husband, help your husband. If he can help you, I'm sure he will also do same. So at the end of the day, it's the two of you in the same boat. So how you make your marriage, really affects you one way or the other. So just make it a happy one. Unnecessary stress, cut it out. Things that won't benefit you, cut it out. And communicate with your partner. Don't let a day pass by when you guys have not talked about anything. It's not healthy. Thank you.